Well, I do.
So that was Boris Johnson speaking yesterday. Worth saying that those 400,000 people who've signed up, more actually, who've signed up volunteering. A lot of questions people are asking about just the roles they were doing, how that work out. And a little later on, talking to Rebecca Kennelly, Director of Volunteering. So effectively, she's in charge of how this is going to pan out and the work they're going to be doing. So it'd be interesting to find out a little more about that.
And also lots of people concerned about exposure and physical distancing, but there are lots of different roles that people can take on. We'll also be talking to the Health Minister, Edward Arger, a little later on. So we'd really like you to send in some questions, because I'm sure you have lots, including, of course, ahead of what's expected to be an announcement from Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor, later today about help for those who are self-employed. We're talking to him at 7:30. We'll put those questions to him, so get them in the usual way.
Let's see what else is coming up on breakfast.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's all right. No, it's my pleasure.
My son, who is also an Everton supporter, is absolutely gobsmacked.
Is he?
The football season may be on hold, but the clubs and players are still finding ways to connect with the fans. We'll bring you more on that. That's come up in about 10 minutes' time.
See so many people from the football clubs and managers getting in touch with like Carlo Ancelotti got in touch with a fan as well. And, it's been fabulous. It's been really good. 27 minutes past 6 is the time. Good morning. Find out what's happening wherever you are, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Good morning from BBC London and BBC South East today, joining forces at breakfast to keep you up to date with the latest on the coronavirus. People are being urged to join a national round of applause for NHS staff at 8 o'clock this evening in a campaign started by a woman from London. The Clap for Our Carers event was created by Anne-Marie Plath from Brixton after similar scenes abroad. The idea is to show appreciation for all those working hard in the health service during the crisis.
I want everybody here in the UK to be hanging out of their balconies, in their front door, when they're not too close to each other, obviously, or even on their sofas at 8 p.m. on Thursday night, clapping, making noise, with stamping your feet, using puns and pads. Sorry for all the kids that are going to be waking up.
Scientists at Imperial College in London and the University of Kent are going to start working together to try and find a way to treat the virus. The research project will develop antibodies which could target COVID-19 and help the immune system destroy it. The teams are hoping to get the therapy ready for clinical trials to see if they can treat the infection. Now, there's a warning from the fire service this morning for the millions of people now working from home. The London Fire Brigade is concerned there could be an increase in home fires because more people are spending time indoors. It's urging people not to overload sockets or use incorrect chargers for devices. Former and retired signallers are being asked to return to the railways to help key workers travel during the coronavirus crisis. Network Rail say its southern region carries half of all passengers in the country, as well as rail freight for the Channel Tunnel. Bosses want to try and keep their signal boxes and control centres open all day, despite losing staff to self-isolation and sickness. There are no plans to close lines in the region in response to the pandemic. The RNLI has stopped its beach lifeguard patrols for the foreseeable future. Lifeguards had been due to start their seasonal duties this weekend across the southeast, but the charity has suspended all patrols until further notice in case they encourage people to visit beaches. Right, let's get a check on the weather now with Nina Ridge.
It's a cold start to the day, but we are expecting it to stay fine and dry. Lots of sunshine once again, with those blue skies taking us into the afternoon, perhaps feeling a little cooler than it did yesterday. But not a great deal is changing in our weather day by day. We've got high pressure with us, that breeze still coming in from the east, keeping temperatures down here. But as we head further west, we're lifting those temperatures into the afternoon, possibly to around about 12 or 13 degrees. Now, as far as the outlook is concerned, it is going to stay dry. We've got lots more sunshine to come through the day on Friday, but then into the weekend, the cloud is set to build, and it's also going to be turning colder with those daytime temperatures down into single figures.
And just a reminder, London City Airport closed to all flights last night. The airport says it's a temporary measure reviewed in April. That is it from us. We're back again in half an hour's time. Bye-bye.
Hello, this is Breakfast with Naga Manchetti and Charlie State.
Good morning to you. The time is 6:30. Thank you very much for joining us on Breakfast. We'll have all the latest news for you and the sport in just a moment.
Let's see what else is coming up breakfast this morning. 500,000 volunteers and counting. We'll be hearing from some of the people who stepped up to help NHS England in the fight against coronavirus and talking to the woman in charge of matching them to suitable roles.
Now, the gymnast Max Whitlock won medals at the last 2 Olympic Games. His hopes of making the podium at Tokyo on hold, though, obviously, for now. He's going to talk to us about how he's dealing with the postponement of this summer's Games. All of that just before 8 o'clock.
Hello, my little love. Hey, Daddy's missing you. What are you eating there?
So little Poppy thinks her dad is 6,000 miles away in Africa. In fact, he's keeping her safe by self-isolating in a camper van just a few hundred yards from their family home in North Wales. We'll bring you the full story before 7 o'clock.
It is just coming up to 28 minutes to 7. Good morning to you. Let's bring you a summary of today's main stories. Self-employed people and freelancers who've lost work due to the coronavirus outbreak are going to learn today what help they can receive from the government.
Last week, the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, pledged to pay 80% of employed people's salaries up to £2,500 a month. For the next quarter, he's come under increasing pressure to offer the same support to those who work for themselves. The UK death toll now stands at 465.